In this podcast, in this in this podcast, I'm going to talk about RuPaul Drag Race. This is an American TV show. It's a program about drag queens and their talent. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about RuPaul Drag Race. This is an American TV show about drag queens and their talent. I decided to talk about this show because it has been a big place in my heart. It's helped me a lot when I felt ill, and it just helped me get back on my feet. And I've been watching it for a really, really long time. I've watched almost every episode. So I'm going to talk about the queens that I like, the seasons that I like, and the challenges that I think that went really well. This is just a disclaimer because I know some people can get offended by this. I am going to be calling them her because when they are drag queens, they are her and they're not a man. They want to be called a girl because they've taken all that time to be like dressed up as a girl. So that's what drag means, dressed up as a girl. So I'll be calling her or she, but you know who I'm talking about, so you can decide whatever you want to call them. I won't be talking about every episode because I think that the podcast will be too long, but I'm just going to talk about my top 2 episodes and what I liked about them, what I didn't like, what I thought was important, and what I thought could change and things like that, really. So season 6 is probably one of my all-time favourite episodes. It's got a lot of like really good queens in there, and it was really good with the challenges that were there. I think the challenges were very variety, like there was a lot of different challenges that could show their talents very well, and I really enjoyed that season. Bianca Del Rio is my favourite queen of all time. I literally want to be her. Like, I think she's hilarious. I think she's so funny, really talented. Like, I just think she's like all around a really good queen. In this season, they had 2 openings, and I thought, like, when I watched it, it was so shocking and so different compared to what they'd done before. And I really liked it. It was out of the blue. No one knew, like, it was going to happen. And I just really enjoyed that. I really like the fact that they could look into the queens in more depth in the first impression, because the first impression is really important, and we've learnt that through a lot of different queens. So I really like that we could take the time to look at all of the queens, and I think that's why season 6 was quite popular with the queens, because we knew them, because we had more of a chance to get to know them on their own before like someone like shined through even more. I think a lot of the queens in this episode did really well outside of RuPaul as well, which I think is why it's my favourite season, because like I just see them on my Instagram all the time, posting all the time, like just season 6 queens all the time. After the first challenge, Kelly goes home, and I thought it was the right decision. After the first challenge, Kelly went home, and I think that was the right decision, because I liked the dress, but it was too bacony. It just looked like bacon, and she just didn't put her all into it. It was very plain compared to the others, and I honestly think that she didn't know what she was up against. And I think it's fair in season 6 because it's kind of still new. You don't know what's like coming around the corner still, whereas season 9 you should kind of know the ins and outs by now, but season 6 was like in the middle, as you saw. They changed it up from the beginning, so I think she didn't know what she was going up against, to be honest. Then after that they had the second opening, and they all had to do sewing challenges, and I think the second lot done the sewing challenges way better, and like Bendela Creme sewed, like hot glued that whole outfit, and she didn't even sew it. I just thought it was like just a really good bunch of queens, the second lot. I do think though by season 6 you should know that at least you are going to have 1 or 2 challenges that are going to be sewing challenges, and definitely season 9. If you don't know how to sew when you go on RuPaul in season 9, then like I don't know even why you bothered, to be honest, because like the more like further the seasons go, I think there's more and more sewing challenges. So after the 2 groups have met, you can tell that the bonding was done in the first and second episode, because it was very like, even when they had to choose a group, they still choose the same group that they came in with. And I think that the first episode you didn't actually notice until that season that it was the bonding episode, and it was just, and you could totally tell that they were all bonded against each other, and you could tell that like the anchor was against some people, and you could just completely tell that like that was the bonding time, and who went home you just didn't bond with. What I did like about that though was that you could see how the queens reacted against other people when they were in groups, because you could tell who was going to be the loudest and who was going to get into fights. But I really like that because that shows what they're like if they're going to be in their group outside of RuPaul as well. In season 4, now I'm going to talk about season 4. Now I'm going to talk about season 4. I think it was very different to season 6. I wanted to talk about season 6 first because that was my favourite, and I also think that it changed a lot, so I wanted to talk about that first. But in season 4 it had more singing challenges and dancing challenges compared to sewing. I think I only saw like 3 or 4 sewing challenges and the rest was singing and dancing. But the reason why I decided to talk about season 4, because I think the singing and the dancing is very important when you're outside of RuPaul, because that's what you do to make your money. As people have said in the past, they don't ask you who made your dress when you are outside of RuPaul. They judge you on your singing and your dancing and your talent, really. I do really like the fact that most of the challenges, like the first challenges, are sewing though, because it really does show like the creative side. You normally get a box or a theme of what you have to do, and you have to make a whole outfit around that theme, and I really do like that for the first challenge. And again, I like the singing that theme because again, it shows teamwork and how they are going to act outside of RuPaul in teams as well. I think that is really, really important. I do really like them as well. And it also shows you like what they can be like on stage, if they've got good presence or anything like that. It just shows you all of that. I do like the judges because when you are online, especially nowadays, and especially with drag and things like that, the criticism is very high and a lot, and even if you're not a drag queen and you're online, it's still a lot. But the fact that people are like, you know, judging you against that, it's just setting them up for the real world, and I think that's exactly what RuPaul is doing, setting you up for the real world before you go out there. You maybe being in a dream before you came in, and it's just like, no, this is how people are going to treat you, this is how they're going to talk to you. If you don't like it, then you're clearly in the wrong, like, community, really. And I do like the comments that Michelle makes sometimes, because she's kind of like, not a troll, but she's like the troll of like online, where people talk horribly to you and they don't really mean it, and just behind the screen. I really feel like Michelle sets you up for that kind of stuff. And I've watched a lot of interviews where people have said like she's actually set you up for what online bullying or online commenting is going to be like. So overall, I really love RuPaul Drag Race. It has helped me so much in the past, and you know, like if you watch it, his motto is like, how can you, if you can't love yourself, then how can you love someone else? And it really has just like taught me to like just love yourself and like so what, like it doesn't really matter what people say. Like if you get up and you're happy, it doesn't really matter. And I think that's so important. And he also teaches you about like drag and gay community, and they have really deep conversations on there. And they just show you all the work that goes behind everything, and I think it's just such a good show. And it's honestly, I don't really watch TV, and it's the only TV show that I really watch. This has been Shannon Penn Take Podcast 2, and I hope you guys enjoy.